Hey friends, Peggy Hall back with you from thehealthyamerican.org. Here's a picture of Charlie Kirk and his bodyguard. You can identify him with those tattoos and that ring. And here is another picture of him. And there's a lot going on in the news about these signs and signals that were sent by these individuals standing behind Charlie that appear to be his bodyguard as well. Of course, you know that signals are used all the time for significance. And I've done videos on this channel before, and there are plenty of headlines. I'm going to break this down for you on Monday. And I'm going to have a video all about the anomalies of this case. We're going to be looking at more clues. Remember, clues are things that you gather in order to create evidence. You have to vet the clues, you have to analyze them, you have to evaluate them, you have to verify them, but you can't dismiss clues right off the bat. Otherwise, you would never have any evidence. But the purpose of this video today is not to look at this evidence and not to look at the hand signals. We're going to do that, as I say, in a deep dive on Monday. I'm still pulling together a lot of the clues and information. What I want to do as we head into the weekend is answer the question, why would they do this? In any event, people will say, Peggy, are you saying they orchestrated it? Are you saying he's in on it? I am not saying that. What I am saying is that there are many reasons for the powers that shouldn't be to pull off these kinds of shenanigans, hogwash, as I call it. We've lived through it over the last several years. In fact, over the last couple of decades, in fact, over the last couple of centuries. There has been hogwash, there have been shenanigans since day one. And there are people like you and me who look for the clues, who dig deeper. And in the broadcast I'm about to share with you is a top hit, meaning I aired it after the Trump can I call it an assassination attempt? Is that what people are still calling it? Back last summer, that was in July of 2024. And when I questioned what happened and when I questioned the clues, people said, Peggy, why would they do this? Well, I'm about to answer that question for you. And I want you to let me know in a comment below why you think the government, the bad guys, the powers that shouldn't be, the new world disorder, why in the non-spinning world would they ever orchestrate something that would cause fear, terror, confusion, chaos? Oh, I know, because out of chaos comes order. In the video you're about to see, I don't mention the Charlie Kirk incident because I broadcast that before this ever happened, but the information is worth reviewing again. Thank you, everybody. Let me know in a comment below as you take a look at the video, why would they do this? Friends, let's answer the question which comes up. Peggy, why would they do this? You're telling me that they all are in on it. Well, I don't know who all is in on it, but certainly some people are in on certain things. And I'd like you to go back and think about a time in your life, someone that you actually know or knew, someone that you thought cared about you, someone you thought you could trust. Were you ever betrayed by someone? Were you ever lied to? Were you ever cheated? And this would be by somebody who actually knows you, who you thought cared about you, somebody that you trusted. Well, now put it in terms of the government or the media. Why? The question actually isn't why would they do this? The question is, why wouldn't they do this? And I've got a whole list of things here on my Substack, which is peggyhall.substack.com. It's a written blog with my analysis. You can get that for free. And, whenever I try to endeavor to encourage folks to dig deeper, that's the question that comes up. Why would they do this? In a way, it does warm my heart that some people are so gullible. I mean, so trusting of the media and the government that they don't question it. It's kind of like giving away their responsibility, giving away their need and requirement as a human being in our society to actually think more deeply and question things. I know that can be scary because people don't want to believe that they've been duped, hoodwinked and swindled. But I would much rather realize that I was and stand up and say, hey, I don't want you to pull the wool over my eyes. I'm going to dig a little deeper here and get a little smarter about this. That's how I respond to these things. So a lot of people don't want to admit that they couldn't read between the lies, and they just want to accept what was told to them. So it does trouble me that people are unwilling or unable to dig deeper and consider that the media and the government, that they don't have your best interest at heart. So again, think about somebody that you actually know that lied or cheated or betrayed you, and you trusted them. The government and the media, these are like faceless entities. They don't even know you. They don't even care about you. So why in the non-spinning world would they not lie to you for their own benefit? So here are just a few of the reasons that come to mind in terms of why those in power want to lie, cheat, manipulate you, hoodwink, swindle, and dupe you. It happens time and time again. Well, they do it for chaos, because when there is conflicting information and confusion, you can't think straight, and you feel that the world is chaotic and you feel powerless. This gives them more power over you. And that's, I think, one of the main reasons they do it. Some people would say the powers that shouldn't be, I don't like to call them the elite, because that kind of indicates that they're better than you and I, and they're not. So I believe that it's the power that they're seeking. They also want to control you, control your thoughts, control your choices, control your emotions. Think about it. When you see these things on TV, many of you have told me it's hard to sleep at night. You have dread, you have anxiety, you live in fear. Look at what happened over the last several years, where people who you might have thought were grounded, sober-minded, rational people were completely swept away in all of the hogwash. That's what happens. Then there is confusion that is perpetrated upon us, that's sloshed all over us. So people don't know exactly what to think because they heard this and then that, and they're trying to put the pieces together. All the while, their thinking mind is missing the bigger picture. So they would also do this not only for the chaos, the power, the control, the confusion. You probably know by now that there is a huge push for a depopulation of the human race. Evil hates good. Evil hates God. Evil hates God's greatest creation, which is mankind. So the more people that can be taken under, and maybe even not exterminated, but manipulated and hoodwinked and brainwashed, so that they no longer are living a life of joy and purpose and passion, they count that as a win. So that's why I've always spoken out about not becoming, certainly not becoming a human pincushion, but not getting into the spin cycle and not becoming obsessed over the headlines. There's a difference between being informed and being obsessed. Being informed is, okay, you look at it, you kind of understand it, you dig a little deeper, you come to your conclusions, you set it aside and you go on with your day. You take care of your animals, your family, your own activities that you are passionate about. You take care of your health, your home, your groceries, your laundry, your housekeeping, your car, all of these things that we need to keep our life going. Obsessed is when all of those things go to the wayside, when you can't sleep at night, when you have to check every single social media account and comment, and you get into arguments and all of this. That, to me, crosses the line from informed to obsessed. And the powers that shouldn't be thrive on this. They thrive on your negativity, on your fear, on the confusion, on the criticism, on the complaining. It's like food for the evil ones. So if they're not depopulating us, they definitely are marring our joy for life, and they can count that in the win column. Of course, there's something that I call the New World Disorder. This is something that has been on the books from really the dawn of mankind, which is control over humanity. And we're seeing it happen and being ushered in at a breakneck speed. So that's another reason why they would do this, is to create chaos. They call it order out of chaos. That's in Latin, and it is, my understanding, one of the themes. I've spoken about the Freemasons, who were at a lot of our founding fathers of this country, and the Masonic Order is a secret brotherhood fraternity, and they have a lot of symbols and signs and numbers and colors and codes that are infused in a lot of these events that we see on TV and, in the media and social media. They are the ones that are controlling government, media, the banks, entertainment, food production. I mean, so many things, along with other bad guys, but my understanding is that they all are a part of ushering in this new world disorder. Another reason they would do this is for money. Money. I haven't said that in a while. And yes, many people are motivated by money. And when you look at some of these actors that are performing in these roles, in these events that we see splashed across the mainstream merry-go-round media, they likely were told and were paid to do so. There are GoFundMe accounts. There probably are new identities that are given to some people. There are others that are, maybe fledgling actors, and they were just told that this is an acting role and they were paid for it. And then there are those that are getting money and they actually believe in what they're doing. They may be a part of an event where the agenda, as I call it, is being pushed to take away the bang-bangs, more control, more restrictions of our God-given rights that should be protected by the Constitution. There are people that are hardcore leftists. There are people that they may not even be Americans, and they want to see the decline and destruction and decimation of this country. So they are happy to do this because they believe in the end result. So of course they would do it. There are others that might do it begrudgingly. There might be some type of blackmail involved. They may be told that they're going to be exposed, and be complicit in some sort of horrific crime. I covered that in a video that I did about what's going on in Lahaina, where the so-called incident commander of the fire was exposed for some sort of sexual harassment situation. And I questioned that. Because why was that just coming out now? And why was he the fall guy? And why were we never told that he was the person? He may not even be a real person, or he may be a real person, and this was pinned on him, or it may all be authentic. But these are the questions I have. So some people are being blackmailed. They don't want to go along with it, but they do so because they think that their family is going to be harmed or that they will have some sort of heinous crime pinned on them. I think there is a lot of greed that goes on. And last but not least, there is ego, meaning they want to think that they're better than you. You have to understand that these bad guys, the puppet masters, the New World Disorder, they love to ridicule you. They're laughing at you. They're laughing at those that don't see all the signs and the symbols that make it clear for others that these things were orchestrated. They love to point out how gullible you are, how ignorant you are, how easily hoodwinked you are, how they can pull the wool over your eyes. And they feel superior. This is the nature of evil. And there are some people that are just plain downright psychopaths. They are just doing it because they have some mental problems. So they either believe in the mission, maybe they'll get something for doing this. Maybe some of these are prisoners, I don't know, and they're going to get parole, or maybe they're going to get promoted at work. So there are all sorts of reasons that people do it. Some people just like to be in front of a camera, and they're doing it for fame. They're doing it for money. They're doing it for history, or maybe they are just actors. I want to hear what you have to say. Why would they do this? I did bring up questions specifically regarding Trump, that it seems that his popularity is so high that he wouldn't need to participate in this kind of charade. But I will bring you another video coming up with I'll just say a whole bunch of comments that I saw on a video where people are not accepting the mainstream narrative. And wait until you hear what they have to say about it. So stay tuned for that. I would love to hear your comments as well. Remember, you can get my written analysis of this over at my free Substack, peggyhall.substack.com. And I can't wait to read your comments as well. Thanks for being on board, and I'll see you in the upcoming broadcast.